Hi everyone and welcome to High Tech Investments News Report for Week 8. We will as usual share any links in the description below the video, that way you can always follow up any detail later. We hope you will enjoy this news feed, and look forward to your comments and remarks. But before we switch over to the news studio, please make sure you give that like button a click and don't forget to subscribe and keep the notification bell turned on. So, without further ado, let's go to the news studio. Today's presenter is Mr. Bo Schoening Larsen. Bo, over to you.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report. Yes, you guessed it, as always, we have plenty of news for you. We've got plenty of profits. We have new video materials, special talk with CEO of one of the companies that we are currently involved with. And we can also see the first signs here as the escalation between Ukraine now and Russia has set in, and cryptocurrencies are currently down between 10 to 20%. We cover all this, and we show you also which ones of our projects are affected and which are not. And we're going to start off with Paraiba. So Paraiba is something that we have actually been investing in for more than a month, but we recently released the first video, and we also mentioned it in last week's news report. So 5 ways to make passive income, and at the time it was a $400 million company. That changed very, very quickly, and we are now into the 500 million. And how they're doing this again is a certain streamline. So that means that once you are signed up with Paraiba, everybody else that comes in after you, basically you get a small piece of the pie. So if you qualify for the different pools, we set up with 21 accounts, so 1 main and 20 sub accounts, which is a very good way of getting started. All in all, it was $3,000. And also this particular week, we added another 1,500. At the same time, we have now seen a lot of people having an interest in this. So it's definitely moving. And we can also see that our profits for the individual day was just $42.95. And you get that 4 days a week. So obviously we're already looking at profits going up over 650 a month. And as the pool grows bigger, as more people are coming in, you will get a certain piece of the pie. Apart from the Paraiba part here, also there's a challenge at the moment, and the challenge is quite interesting. Not only obviously do you need to get your first line up to 25,000 and the downline to 50,000, but the whole idea here is actually that if you reach this before end of March, which means that you have another month to do this, you will get an invite to meet part of the Paraiba team, and you'll meet also the CEO of Paraiba, which is obviously will be a great thing for us. We believe that this most probably will take place in Miami, so shortly after this challenge is done, so maybe in May and June. And we are very much locked into trying to do this together with the team. Even if you are not building a team with Paraiba, is still a possibility. In order to help, so all people that are interested in Paraiba, we have updated our website here recently. So as usual, all the links are in the description below. How to get started, and there's also a specific guide for your KYC that you need to set up. Very, very important here on Paraiba, because no matter if you put money in, it will not start providing you any profits until your KYC is approved, and it won't count in your team either. If you don't get these things done, the KYC, you can basically lose your account within 30 days, and that means you will lose your spot in the pool also, which is obviously not good. And then we have, for the people that wants to build up bigger team, or they actually just want to build up multiple accounts, go and have a look. There's even an Excel you can now download, and you can figure out exactly how much you have to put in, and there's a good calculation on how much you are going to get out again. So obviously from the initial 5 to 8%, you're going to end up with somewhere around the 14-15 mark. And then if you have a team and you're building that up, we'll all add to it. So by all means, go and have a look at the video if you're not fully familiar with Paraiba yet. If you want also to know a bit more Paraiba, apart from the video and our homepage, We will normally invite people every about 2 weeks. So when we have a webinar, it's not held by us, but somebody very knowledgeable. And we'll invite everybody there, either through Facebook, or our Instagram or LinkedIn accounts. So keep an eye on this. The last one we had was just this Sunday, and more than 200 people joined. So very good session. As usual, we always have yield notes in here. So because they are good and stable, profits are always in the green. And they've been quite high for the last couple of weeks, so over 2%. Although this week we came down to 1.8, which is our normal part, I guess. And overall, so far, we have about 6%. We are looking at February, so it's going to be a short month this month. And most probably will end up in the same region as we did last month, where we did 8%. Yield Notes send out again a post, so just to show the 2022 progress, and you can see that here. So the weekly charts, the yellow part is for January and the blue part is February. We don't believe that we're going to end up in that high percentage. As we said again, it's a short month, so there's not the extra days to gain in the percentage, but we'll see. Obviously this will be out next week and will be as usual covered in the next news report. What has always done well here for us in the last couple of weeks is also Elevate Pass. For this week 8 we have 1.9%, and the previous 3 weeks we actually had 2.0, so very stable. And if we take the last 4 weeks overall, that means basically profit of 7.9%, so quite decent. And we see also a lot of movements now from individual teams coming in, and that means that you are getting your referral fees. So the direct fee is 10% and everybody else in your matrix is 1.8, and you can see just some of the days where we have received referral fee, we then reinvested. And what we just got here on Wednesday was basically more than $70, which is not bad. Our initial investment was only $550, so we bought 55 advertising packages, and teams are growing, and so is the profits. If you're interested again in Elevate Pass, they have 2 Zoom meetings every single week. So Monday, as you can see, 8 p.m. and Thursday 1 p.m. If you are not in with Elevate Pass and you want to be in on any of these, just send us an email and we'll make sure you get a link so you can join, see if this is something for you. We have already a couple of videos out there explaining what exactly this does. And now we're getting to where we get affected currently, so with the current crisis between Ukraine and Russia. And we have seen in the last couple of days now that some of the profits is eroding away. So let's get started on the shared masternoding. That is quite stable. That has not really changed anything. That has continued to be in the 53-54% mark. So happy with this. SAP and Sapphire Coin is very stable. And the coin development, we have also seen all-time high was last week, and it looked pretty good also this week, right up until the last couple of days. So as we said, a lot of crypto coins has lost, and the same thing goes here also for the Sapphire. This especially against euro as we are using, but against the Bitcoin, it's the loss is lower. But we're sure it will recover fairly shortly, so still 200%, so is definitely not bad since July 2021. The other PNY that we have in coins, shared masternoding, we had a bit of a dive below the 300% return on investment per year, so which we reported on in last week's news report. Happy to say that it's now past the 300 again. So somewhere bobbing around between 300 and 400% at the moment. And that has obviously made a good profit now for the shared masternoding, gone from 189% to 207. So 200% already since end of October, which is exactly what we hoped and needed. And the overall coin development in the same period of time was also at an all-time high last week at 78%. It hasn't lost as much compared to the SAP. So, but again, 61.5% is okay. And obviously there's always a unsteadiness in the market, especially when we're close to this. I'm sure it will be corrected in the next weeks and months to come. One of the things that we are really happy about this week is we have launched a new video. We got an opportunity and a chance to meet up with the CEO from Lumingsbit and ask him a range of questions on how it all got started. Currently, what are the developments and how can you continue to make sure that the risk for the investors is at a reasonable level, and not least, so also what can be expected. And a couple of the things that came out of this particular video was that they are launching an app currently, so which will be released within the next month or so. Maybe no later than March, and at the same time they are also looking into a bit of a meeting for all the Lumingsbit investors. Will take place somewhere in the UAE, and that could be as early as April or May. So we're definitely looking forward to this. It's a very good video, about half an hour long, where we just go over a range of the Lumingsbit business. And the business for Lumingsbit is definitely booming. On the same day I did that particular interview, it was also a new all-time high here for Lumingsbit, as they reached more than 150 million. So this is the trading balance that they have, and you can follow that if you are a member. And at the same time they also explained that they have now added an additional more than 10 new coins, so to the traders to trade on, and that obviously gives them even more possibilities. So last that we counted, there was about 22 coins that was active. So and that is great news and great development for the team itself. We just took a couple of pictures here, so showing the development again. So over the last month, and you can see that in the last 24 hours it has gone up by more than 1%. Overall, so in the last 7 days and 30 days we see great development here, and hopefully it will continue. So we'll keep a close eye on it and continue to report the progress. Progress is also being made by AI marketing. So we did mention a bit that it was below the 1% mark, so in some of the previous news report. And as we expected, the whole system is now getting close to being fully back up and running. So the advertising budgets are being updated more frequently now, and that also means that obviously more money will go into it and more profits will be made. And we can therefore see that after the first 23 days, we also now have a profit of 24.92%, so which is absolutely excellent. And we're now looking as we will be in the 30% mark, despite the short month of February. We also have the team leaders meeting, so the next one will be on the 1st of March, and what we are looking at there now is all about withdrawal and deposits. So we definitely want to invest a bit more, but obviously everything is still closed, delayed, and we are hoping that we will have some news and a firm date of when AI marketing will be fully back to normal. Alex is also back to normal. He has actually sent out 4 videos this week, and some of it is for free, some of it has huge profits. So here we have a training course that is actually for free, and you can go in and have a look. So in the video description there, he has links on how you can basically get this course. On top of this, what we are still talking about is the Profit Retriever. So that has been introduced now several weeks ago, and we started off with the beta version. And now the Retriever has also passed the FTMO test, so which is quite impressive. This EA is again set up on a martingale strategy, reverse martingale strategy. And most people that know a bit about trading, it's a very dangerous system. It's a bit more like gambling. But Alex seems to have mastered this quite well. And that now also means that there's actually good profits without blowing your account. And in order to track your progress, he has now sent out this video here also, how you can use the FX Blue system, so which is actually for free, where you can track multiple robots on one simple account. So by all means, go and have a look at this. The last one is really important here, and that is, as more and more traders are actually getting interested with the Profit Retriever, we have seen good success, and we even see some people that are making almost 50 to 100% within the Premium Forum a day. And as you can see, Alex has also set up some scenarios where it was possible to get 2,400% return on the gold. So we have to say some of these are backtest, but there's plenty of real in the Premium Forum of Expert Forex, where you can see that this is a robot that has great potential. We definitely want to start testing it. We have simply just been too busy with our many projects, but this is one that hopefully will have a bit of news for you on the next news report. And that's what we have for you in this week. As you can see, there's plenty of profits, even though we see some heavy changes in the world, and most probably we'll see that in the next couple of weeks to come also. But we are here and we are reporting profits and losses. Luckily, everything looks very profitable still, and that way, hopefully we'll report that on next week too. So see you then. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.